Greetings, everyone. It is the one and only King of Ghidorah. You know, the name change, which I did like a good week ago or so. And I'm glad to be back in action with my recording for my voice. You get the point. Working now. So, the title, thumbnail, everything. Big Mamas, a Skibidi goon who, like everyone else, downplays Godzilla off their own stupid narrative because, Skibidi goons don't have a brain cell, right? But I'm not gonna be the only person who's debunking mamas, because another person will be joining me. That being Composite Riggs or Compy. Go subscribe to him because I said so. Damn it. Now, Big Mamas, to go with his easier arguments to debunk, which is the one in because he's only like 2 Godzillas, really 3, but the third is so minuscule that I'll just go over because I kind of have to. And the argument is also so stupid, but hey, that's what we live for, right? Stupidity. So to get his trash as argument out the way, let's go with Final Wars. Because he also does the Ghidorah thing for some reason, even though, truth be told, if you scale Godzilla in general, you will know that no one uses actual Ghidorah. We don't even use actual Ghidorah. Like, we don't. We use the statements of it being able to destroy the planet, which is a hypothetical one. Or the kaiju, Godzilla, Gigan, Ghidorah, all being set to destroy the planet or being a threat to the planet or threatening to destroy it multiple times. That line of consistency is pretty consistent of being at the planet list. But the way he argues with it is actually pretty pathetic. He practically just assumes shit, pulls it out of his ass, which is, it's a typical Skibidi goon thing to do because that's all they do. They pull some random narrative out their ass because it's funny. So, yeah. The debunking line is so terrible that I'll just speed run through it right now real quick for the time on the screen with the statements I'm going to play. Essentially to explain it, he gives no source of information. He pulls the argument out his ass. End of story. But to go a little bit further, he tries to debunk Ghidorah's speed and it be like a time level explosion, which I've already gone over the fact that nobody uses actual Ghidorah. But the speed thing is so minuscule as well because it doesn't even make up most of the Final Wars of scale. If you really want to be that much of a type of person, just use that statement of Final Wars being 3 to 4 times faster than any Godzilla prior. Not for Ghidorah, because he's going to do a similar thing with Godzilla Earth. He says that the black hole of Ghidorah is visual effects, which is wrong, as Toho has said otherwise. Meaning that it's a real black hole. And I'm pretty sure somewhere it said that he never watched a single Godzilla film, which would be consistent because he doesn't seem to have a single brain cell. And while we're on top of him, the third thing of the Millennium Era would be the absolute zero, which he directly ignores can destroy your atoms on a subatomic scale. I don't know how you missed this, but one of the biggest things about the absolute zero weapon is the fact that it destroyed your atoms on a subatomic scale. So, you get the point. So, yeah, you get the point of that. Oh, and speaking of Godzilla Earth, he uses the same argument for, Godzilla Earth. By saying the black hole is a visual effect thing. And tries to downplay his... I don't know why he was trying to do it with the beam speed. He was really grasping up air for that one. He was trying to find anything possible to debunk. Which, no. Ghidorah has also been stated multiple times to destroy black holes. So, yeah. He's practically grasping up air to try and justify his argument, despite the fact that he's ignoring the narrative at the movie and even the supporting statements say otherwise. Really trying to just grab everything easy. But, Showa and Heisei, to be honest, this is going to be a bit of the longer section of my part anyways. But essentially, that's the same thing. Black hole equal visual effects. There's some nitpicky ass argument to show Ghidorah destroying planets. I don't know why. And if he just does arguments that don't even exist or people don't even use them, I don't understand to what he was trying to do here. Aside, all he did was just embarrass himself even more and made himself seem more like a clown. So again, he just ignores everything for like Space Godzilla, the Heisei era, and he tries to bring up the fact that the Mothra Bactra meteor can't even planet bust, despite the fact that it said multiple times that yeah, it can planet bust, like in the movie in the supporting statements. So I don't know why he's trying to bring up that fact at all. In fact, it's going to destroy. In fact, the meteor is going to destroy the Earth to a dwarf star amount. So yeah, he's practically grabbing it. In fact, real quick, his calculations are genuine ass. When you look at his Skibidi side of things, then look at Godzilla, yeah, it's just terrible. Because he blatantly ignores context like Envy Godzilla's atomic breath, is destroying you or working on the subatomic scale, and so on. So he just blatantly chooses to ignore the narrative or something. And even when you were right, he will still just insult you rather than actually trying to like argue against you. That's all he ever does, because he's that much of a fucking bitch. Like a little crybaby that needs his fucking pacifier because he knows that he says it wrong. He just means wham. Somebody debunk my argument with my argument with a very good counter. Like, it's pretty fucking pathetic. And then for the show side of things, nothing important. He just ignores the black hole in the trap of the universe, ignores the 4D realms, or space time, my bad. He just chooses to ignore things that he knows that he can't properly debunk without practically just using fake scans. Yeah, the fake scans thing. Yeah, he practically just pulls these like there's some type of factual information, despite the fact that he practically just pulls them out of his ass. So that's another thing. In fact, yeah, the proven fake, because me and my friends, it's like over a month or two ago, which proved that yeah, they're fake. So what do we went over so far? We went over his terrible one-number debunk, the outright ignorant Godzilla Earth debunk, and the shittiest downplay of fucking Heisei and Shoutout Godzilla. I'm not gonna touch too much on Monsterverse as of right now because that's a bigger fish to fry. But to explain, Comp will be going off his Mechagodzilla argument because, well, yeah, Envy Universe is not something I want to put on the channel. You know, technically the argument I have, but like I was desperate for that. Okay, Mecha needed those arguments. He wants to try to get alternatives. So, yeah, Big Mamos is fucking terrible at calculating, fucking terrible at arguing. He's overall really bad at what he's trying to say. And the fact that some of these people actually believe it is terrible. If this video was going to be that long, I would make a section just to include his Skibidi scams. But I'm sure one of the boys, like Acatino, fuck that man, his name is so weird. And the greatest clown, or Gaines calling, did not call himself. So I think my section is done, considering how eager it is to debunk everything. And even though if he does see this video, he's not gonna debate it. He's just gonna make some shitty community respond posts about it and still not be able to refute claims. Comp, to you.
Yo, Comp here, or Composite Rex. Nice seeing that I'm being invited to other channels now. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about this guy named Big Mamas something. He claims that Mechagodzilla is the strongest character in the Monsterverse, and he one-shot evolved Godzilla. Now, there are several problems with this argument, if you didn't notice. The first one where he says he one-shots Godzilla, which is blatantly wrong. In the fight with Mechagodzilla, in the beam clash, Mechagodzilla needed to amplify his proton scream to actually win the beam clash instantly.
Meanwhile, Godzilla lifts his head up and blasts out his blue atomic breath at his foe. Mechagodzilla counters with his red beam, and the two glowing rays meet in the air between them. The robot rears back and amplifies his ray, knocking Godzilla to the ground, and leaving the reptilian titan's chest glowing and smoldering.
Godzilla is heavily weakened during this fight. He's stated to be at half his strength, meaning he's likely at 50%, but if not, we can take this a step further and outright say that Godzilla was at 50% in the beginning of GVK. The reason for this is because before the events of GVK, Godzilla was heavily weakened in the comic Godzilla Dominion, where Godzilla keeps nature in balance, fighting off titans, and was barely alive. Well, technically half dead, considering this was right after Godzilla King of the Monsters, where he was already drained of energy, and in the novelization, it's blatantly stated that Godzilla woke up from a half rest. We know in the Monsterverse, rest or sleep equals to power for the Titans in the Monsterverse, of course. And considering in Godzilla Dominion, Godzilla was barely alive, so this statement seems consistent for Godzilla to actually be at 50% in the beginning of GVK. If we take that as true, then him being at half his strength means he was actually at 25% of his power, or 45%. And Mechagodzilla barely dents this weakened Godzilla, who even with his strongest weapon amplified. So I don't really know where you got the one shot from. So you're either very drunk or stupid. Evolved Godzilla is a 20 times amp. If Mechagodzilla can't even one-shot a weakened base Godzilla, then he's not one-shotting a 20 times amped one. Case closed. Moving on. Also, that should also cover up his arguments of saying statements that says Godzilla is actually stronger is invalid because of the visuals. So, moving on from that. He somehow even makes a more stupider claim by saying titans like Shimo and Ghidorah doesn't scale to Godzilla. Like, bro, have you watched the movies? Shimo has tanked a 20 times spiral ray and took little damage from it. He scales to spiral ray. If he scales to spiral ray, then he scales to base Godzilla. Ghidorah is stated to be relative to Godzilla multiple times in multiple statements, and it's even shown in visuals. Ghidorah can harm Godzilla, and Godzilla can harm Ghidorah back. So, I don't really know where he got this shit from. I mean, this is literally the basics of power scaling. If you can harm someone and he can harm you back, then both of you scale to each other. That's simple. He also mentions the Beast Glove to upscale Mechagodzilla. Kind of weird because the Beast Glove is basically just upgraded parts of Mechagodzilla. If it's upgraded, then nothing the Beast Glove can do applies or upscales Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla was brutally murdered by Kong. His pieces were damaged, so they had to repair and upgrade them to be new and stronger. Also, you don't resist thermal temperature just because you resist absolute zero. Resisting absolute zero means resisting the complete removal of heat, not resisting temperature as a concept. So no, neither Mechagodzilla or the Beast Glove resists Godzilla's atomic breath. The novelization never states that Mechagodzilla is stronger. All they say is that Mechagodzilla is Godzilla's counterweapon. I mean, sure, you can argue that Mechagodzilla is stronger and counters this weakened Godzilla, but evolved Godzilla or a full power Godzilla, it's blatantly stated that Godzilla would beat Mechagodzilla if he was at full power. You're denying these statements because of visuals. However, I've already covered that up, proving that Godzilla was heavily weakened during the MG fight. No, I mean, I've already covered up that Godzilla wasn't at full power. And two, the beam never hit the eye. All it did was destroy the metal around the eye, destroying a couple of wires. It never really took a direct hit. Matter of fact, I don't even think it directly even gazed the eye. Also, I don't know where you got the B-roll metal shit from, but even if you take that as true, he needs time to actually adapt and counter people. Meaning it's just completely useless if he's just gonna get one-shotted by other titans like Godzilla. And I don't really see him coming up with a counter against something that has the potency to actually one-shot him. Yeah, something else I find funny is that he says that he links official sources or official statements and proceeds to link fucking Wikizilla. Your own source literally says that the only reason Godzilla lost the beam clash was because he wasn't at full power. Okay, moving on. One more thing, a few more things I want to cover is that he states that Mechagodzilla has infinite power or stamina due to Hollow Earth energy. However, the problem is, it's directly stated that Mechagodzilla only has a 24-hour battery life, so that just clears everything out. The Hollow Earth statement of him having endless power, this is clearly a metaphor. Anyone with common sense can actually see that. Just because it says boundless energy doesn't exactly mean it's boundless itself. It just means a large amount of energy. Also, it's literally compared to black holes. Last time I checked, black holes don't have boundless or endless energy. And the 24-hour statement literally contradicts him having boundless stamina or energy. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I've cleared everything up aside from he literally just mentions lifting strength, striking strength, which literally just upscales other titans like Godzilla and Kong. He's like literally beating Mechagodzilla. Oh yeah, funny thing, he somehow like tries to cope with how Kong like demolishes Mechagodzilla with the charged axe, saying it's plot. That's like saying my favorite character lost because of the plot. I mean, that's just advanced coping at this point. He also mentioned some anti-feats, pretty sure like a kiloton feat where Godzilla was dies to a fall, but Godzilla was already weakened due to Ghidorah's pulse. But I'm not gonna go over that since my goal is just to debunk Mecha being the strongest inverse. So back to Burning Ghidorah.
Thanks, comp. And yeah, this is the end of the video now since we went over everything major. I've already said I won't go over his Skibidi debunks, but if I had to, it's just KE calcs. I don't care too much about inverse Skibidi at all. I'm a crossverse YouTuber. I don't care about that type of stuff. Like, not really at all, unless it's a versatile scale. So, yeah. This was the Mammoth debunk. Sir, I left y'all in the dark for like 3 weeks. Probably like a month now. But hey, it's finally here. And to make up for it, you get the other videos. Maybe. But, yeah. I can't say when the collab video with the 8 others will come out, but probably while I'm on fall break, which I hope. So, yeah. Overall, to summarize, Mamas is terrible at arguing. His entire arguments can just be dismissed by Hitchens' razor and burden of proof. Which, I mean, that's not a surprise. Those are the main two fastest Skibidi can meet. But yeah, I'm out. Take care, y'all. See ya.